Hey guys, my name is Patrick, and in this video I'm going to be talking about AB5, the bill that was passed in California, from the perspective of a driver. So I do food delivery services for a variety of gig economy companies like Doordash, Grubhub, Postmates, and Uber Eats. This law affects food delivery as well as Uber and Lyft. So the bill, if you haven't heard of it, forces the gig economy employers to categorize their labor as employees. So right now they are labeled as independent contractors, and there's a ton of freedom that comes along with that. So I know that for me, I can turn on 2 or 3 of these apps whenever I want. I can go on, I can work whenever I want, and I can make 20 to 25 bucks per hour during the hours that I want to work. So once this bill actually goes into effect, it's going to not allow that. So it's going to force the gig companies to label the contractors as employees. It's going to give them fixed hourly and a bunch of other things, other benefits. Now, this sounds good, but in reality, what it's going to do is it's going to increase the cost substantially. So the costs are going to go up 30 to 40%. A lot of people that like to be able to turn on these apps whenever they want aren't going to be able to do that. So the fallout just from not being able to kind of go on the road whenever I want, to the certainty that they're going to have to, cut tons of labor, because the costs are going to go up extraordinarily high. They're going to go up 30 to 40% because now you have to pay for, guaranteed wages, health insurance, Social Security, payroll taxes. So all these added costs are going to be passed on to the consumers. And then the consumers obviously aren't going to be using the services as much because their costs are going to go way up. And to top that all off, these companies are losing money anyways. So the only company that was really for sure making money was Grubhub. And I know that their stock just crashed by, I believe it was 30%, as a result of their profits not coming at a certain amount. So the legislators that are passing these types of laws, yes, they're trying to protect the labor, which is fine. But when you're kind of passing these very broad, general, labor-friendly laws as a result of just ideology, so they are ideological in nature without looking at the macroeconomics of what is involved in it. And from both the employer and the employee perspective, particularly the employer perspective, then you're going to have economic realities, economic repercussions. So a comparison would be with the Medicare for All package that they're looking at. I mean, it's going to cost millions of jobs. That's just a fact. So you have to kind of balance the labor-friendly laws with economic realities. And that is a big problem when you're dealing with a state that takes in extraordinary amounts of money in tax revenue. So, or if it's just completely one-sided. I mean, you have to at least look at the pros and the cons and the actual effects of putting in a piece of legislation like this, the effects that it's going to have on both the people, the employees and the employers. Because, like I said, some of the realities that are going to fall out, again, if they keep the bill as it is, it's supposed to go into effect on January 1st, is the fact that, again, employees won't be able to just toggle on to the different apps whenever they want. They're going to have to be scheduled, and they're going to have to cut a lot of the workforce. I mean, again, we'll have to see how it falls out, but there's so many people like myself and people that I know that really appreciate the ability to be able to toggle on to 3 or 4 of these apps at different times in different areas, make a few bucks, and then toggle off. So that's one of the big... Now, you could say, oh yeah, but what about all those people that are trying to do it full-time? Well, it's not a full-time job. I'm sorry, but this is a gig job. This is a hustle. And if you are trying to do this full-time, then, I mean, go at it. Do it the best you can. But, I mean, this is like real life. The economy is always fluctuating. People are constantly changing between jobs all the time. This isn't the 1950s when people were in one job their entire lives. People are constantly moving around, and for me, and again for a lot of people like me, we appreciate the ability to go on and go off and get paid for doing specific jobs. So in my opinion, the people that are passing these kinds of laws, these kinds of legislations, they only look at one particular side of the coin, and that's it. And it's really unfortunate when you have these legislators that refuse to look at the objective realities of what's going on. So I hope that we'll see some kind of change. And even what Doordash is proposing as kind of a solution for this in a proposition gives the independent contractors, the employees, tons of things. I'm not sure all that's in it, but I know it has some kind of guarantees here and there, some kind of health care. So again, that's my take on AB5. Go ahead and leave your comments below. I'd love to hear what you think, whether you're employed as a gig economy worker or otherwise. Thank you.